Let's look at a primordial snake god who has some pretty funny features. This is part 60 of the Gods and Goddesses of Ancient Egypt, and let's look at Nebekhau. Nebekhau's name has been translated many different ways by Egyptologists. It includes that which gives the Ka, he who harnesses the spirits, the overturner of doubles, collector of souls, provider of goods and foods, and bestower of dignities. He was considered the original snake in Egyptian mythology and was believed to be both an ancient and eternal god. In some early myths, Nebekhau cannot be harmed by any magic fire or water, and in another he has demonstrated the ability to breathe fire. He was originally considered an evil spirit before functioning as a funerary god associated with the afterlife. He was considered one of the 42 assessors of Ma'at, which was a group of ancient Egyptian deities that were charged with judging the souls of the dead in the afterlife. After judging the deceased, these gods would be able to provide their soul with a Ka, which is a part of the soul that distinguishes the living from the dead. In later mythology, Nebekhau was described as a companion of the sun god Ra and an attendant of the deceased king. He is most often represented as an anthropomorphized snake, meaning that he is half human and half serpent. Usually this means that he is depicted as a snake with legs, but he can also be depicted as a falcon-headed snake with human arms and legs, and sometimes with an erect penis. He was also sometimes depicted as having two heads on two separate necks and then a third head on his tail supported by the figure of a man. This suggested that this could be a representation of his dual good and evil nature. He most likely never had any specific temples or priesthood associated with him, but his main worship was centered at Heracleopolis or the Great Temple of Heliopolis. He also apparently had his own festival, which was recorded as occurring at least 32 times in the New Kingdom. It appears that it may have been celebrated 9 days after the festival of plowing the earth or during the coronation of a king. It appears that people would celebrate this festival by eating a plant called the hischit and cakes made out of a plant called the charasate. It was probably a feast celebrating the redemption and rebirth and potentially associated with the goddess Sekhmet. Next time, let's talk about an ancient Egyptian goddess who is the personification of the brightest star in the sky.